Good morning, everyone. It's Erin Ward from WSI Digital Solutions Group in the Building Brevard Network. And today I am here with Denny Watkins. He is the broker owner of TMW Insurance Agency. He offers alternative healthcare solutions to both individuals and groups. Denny and his family have been residents of Viera since 2007, originally from Maryland. And Denny has been working in the health and life insurance field for 23 years. So we're super excited to have Denny on the show today. And as always, before we get into what you do, let's learn a little bit more about who you are.
Well, good morning. Thrilled to be here this morning. So welcome everybody. Thanks for having me on. So yeah, I'm one of the crazy ones out there. I love health insurance. It's on everybody's mind, but sometimes I talk to other agents who's like, boy, I can't believe you do health insurance. I enjoy health insurance because it's a challenge. I work both in the individual and the group space, so I literally can help anybody. I like being an independent broker. I work out of my home office. I work out of my car. I work off of my phone.
Yeah.
I meet my clients here in Florida face to face. And if it's a long distance client, with the phone, the internet, webinars, I can send a link to my client. We can get on the computer. He or she can see my screen, and I can walk through, with somebody that's long distance. But I cover the whole state of Florida. Yes, lived in Brevard County here since 2007. Born and raised in Maryland. The only thing we miss out of Maryland are the crabs. Don't miss the weather up there and the traffic. Traffic up there is pretty bad. So. That's my story. I enjoy helping people with health insurance.
How'd you get into it? How did you make your way into the health insurance and life insurance world?
Well, that could be a whole nother show.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I graduated from high school in 1973.
Okay.
Went to a 2-year tech school. There was a shortage of engineers and draftspeople. I guess back then they called us draftsmen. So I went 2-year tech school. Engineering, architectural background, and spent 22 years working in the engineering world. Did a lot of traveling. Actually worked for a private firm in Washington, D.C. for about 8 years, to where I was a part of a project management team. We had a contract with the Corps of Engineers in Germany, so I used to travel to Germany periodically, which was pretty fun or interesting.
Yeah.
So kind of got tired of the whole traveling bit and always had a love of getting into the insurance and financial services. So actually, I guess back in 1992 is when I transitioned into the financial services and insurance. And of course, I love numbers and math, so it's pretty easy to understand all this.
Yeah, I was going to say it must provide you with kind of a more analytical approach to all of this.
And I think what I like about what I do, I didn't come from sales.
Sure.
So I'm not a sales type person.
Sure.
I'm an educator, advisor. I consult people. I have conversations with people, and if I can help you at the end of the conversation, then I'm there to help you.
Right.
I'm not there to sell you the product of the month.
Right. And that kind of speaks to what the independent broker is versus what you call a captive agent.
Right. But like I said, as I shared with you before, absolutely no disrespect to captive agents. They play an important role out in the marketplace.
Yeah.
But with captive agencies, sometimes they are limited to the products they can bring to the table. Sure. And folks understand that. For me, it fits me to be an independent broker. I can broker just about anything out there. And that's the other thing I bring to the table for my clients. If at the end of a conversation, a meeting, an appointment, and for whatever reason I can't help that individual or that business, I typically know somebody that can.
Right.
So then I'll refer that person to that person and keep moving it along. I don't just get to my end of my appointment and say, gee, Mr. Client, I can't help you. Let me close up my notebook and I'm out of here. I still try to find somebody that can help that person and take it to the next step.
Right, and that's why Denny and I were talking before the show. He's saying that his close ratio is 100%, and it's not because you value every sale based on you necessarily. It's on, is this problem solved?
Right.
100% of the time the problem will be solved.
Typically I can solve the problem 100% of the time.
Right.
Some of my products in the individual space are underwritten products. Some of my products, I can't write smokers, and I have no, I don't disrespect smokers, but some of my products will not underwrite smokers.
Sure.
And my underwritten products, if you have a major pre-existing medical condition like cancer or had a stroke, that medical event's not going to be covered for a period of time.
Sure.
So honestly, I can't sell that product to that person.
Right.
If I can't sleep at night, I'm not going to sell you that
Right.
product. So then I will coach or advise that person that you would be better served by owning an Affordable Care Act plan. I'll guide them where to go to do that. So even though I walked away from the appointment not physically getting a sale, I still helped the person.
Right.
And I think that's important to me.
Yeah.
And usually those people still will refer me.
Yeah, and with the kind of uncertainty that's in all of the health insurance right now, that's just reassuring for me to know, like, if I were to, need to buy extra or primary health insurance, that there's someone out there that's actually looking for my best interest, because sometimes insurance there's a pre-misconception for
Yes.
people that are in insurance that
Yes.
they wouldn't do that. So you sell primary products.
Correct.
For both individuals and groups. So kind of talk to us what the differences are and how you approach each of those.
All right,
those
so
markets.
so in the individual marketplace, these are people that maybe work for a company and the company doesn't offer group. Maybe it's a married couple and the spouse has insurance through their company, but that company won't cover the other spouse. So there's always going to be a market where individuals need primary health care. So I'll sit down with that individual. So I can help an individual, I can help a husband and wife, I can help a single parent with children. So that's the individual market. And I sit down and have a conversation with the person that's looking for individual health care. I first go through a series of conversations and questions. Even though I technically, and I say this with all the respect in the world, I no longer represent and physically go out here on a daily basis and sell the Affordable Care Act plans.
Sure.
AKA Obamacare plans. But I understand how it works frontwards and backwards. If I'm sitting with an individual that would benefit from owning an ACA plan, maybe their income level is at a level to where they would get a decent subsidy, I'm going to encourage that person. I'll still share with them my alternatives and maybe give them some quotes. But if I think they're a perfect candidate for an ACA plan, I'm going to encourage them to take that route. That with your income level, with the subsidy, you would save money by owning that product, type of thing. So I'll do that in a heartbeat. But typically, I get referred to people that are relatively healthy, non-smokers, that make serious income, that would not get a subsidy through an ACA program.
Sure.
So they truly are looking for an alternative. I'm sitting with folks every day, and people know this, I'm sitting with folks every day that are paying $1,000, $1,400, $1,800 a month.
A month?
For individual health care.
Oh my goodness.
Through the marketplace. Now that's a non-subsidized rate.
Right.
There are people that are getting subsidized with their ACA plans that are only paying a couple $100 a month.
Right.
Okay, and that makes more sense. So for healthy people, so one of the areas that I represent in the individual workspace is the health share ministry programs, which have been around since the 80s. They're not new. The most popular one, which we're kind of blessed here in Brevard County, MediShare is by far the #1 health share ministry program in the country. And they are headquartered in Brevard County, down off of Sarno Road.
Sure.
Okay? So when my clients have to, that rare time when my client has to call MediShare because of a question, they're actually calling the facility down in Melbourne. They're not calling a call center overseas.
Right.
And they're talking to live employees at MediShare to help them with their problem.
Yeah.
So with the health share ministry programs, the perfect candidate for me are individuals, family members that are looking for individual health care, that are Christians, relatively healthy, make too much money to get a subsidy with the Affordable Care Act plan. I can save those folks a ton of money. I'm typically taking families that are paying that $1,400, $1,800 a month, and I'm taking them down to $500 to $600 a month.
Wow.
Premium.
Wow.
And the other benefit of MediShare, their deductible is household, not per person.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
traditional health insurance that you would buy on the exchange. Now, sadly, today in this country, on average, people are paying $800 to $1,000 plus a month for their individual health care, and they are carrying deductibles of $7,500, $10,000. I just met with a person the other day that had a $14,500 annual deductible.
Oh my goodness.
And that's per person.
Per person.
In the family.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. With MediShare, the deductible is household.
Sure.
Not per person.
Right.
So, when I take people from $1,000, $1,200, $1,400, $1,800 down to $500 or $600 at a $5,500 annual household deductible, not per person, it's a huge win.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They can actually use their plan.
Right.
Okay.
And not be afraid to use it,
Right.
which is great.
So, now, health share ministry plans have been around a long time.
Okay.
It's not commonly known, a lot of people don't understand how they work.
Sure.
So when I get referred to an individual family member that's looking for an alternative, I simply educate them on how the product works. Is it for everybody? No. Okay. They will not underwrite smokers, and again, I don't disrespect smokers, but the health share ministry programs will not underwrite smokers.
Sure.
And it's an underwritten product because it does cover major medical.
Sure.
So if you have a pre-existing condition, that won't be covered for 3 years.
Yeah.
So again, it's back to me doing what's right for the consumer. If I'm sitting with an individual that has some major medical issues going on, this is not the product for them.
Right.
Then I look at other avenues with them.
So it's kind of like in a math equation, right? It's like, okay, you have A is your medical history, B is kind of where you want to go, C is how your income is. Okay, it's now up to Denny to kind of figure out what the answer to that equation is.
Yep.
And the beauty of you being independent is that you're not isolated to one product. You can kind of pick and choose
Right.
and make sure that the equation's correct. So that's awesome.
So then in the group space.
Sure.
So we were talking before show started. And Aaron and I do a lot of networking, through chambers and different things. And it's funny, we're all the time reminding ourselves when we go to networking events, never stand up and say a good referral for me is anybody that can use my service. But so I hate to use that cliche,
Right.
but in my business space for group health insurance, literally any business that has 2 or more employees are good candidates for me.
Right.
Okay. So I take the same approach when I get referred into a business. Whether they have an existing group plan or not doesn't matter to me. I get referred into a business, I sit down with the business owner, the HR person, whoever, and again, I have a conversation. A lot of business owners don't know all the rules.
Sure.
Now, a lot of people that I get referred to are business owners that recently had experience with traditional group health.
Okay.
Where they were paying $8,000, $9,000, $1,000 a month per employee.
Per employee, right? Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Under the traditional rules of engagement, the employer had to pay 50%, contribute 50% towards that. You have to have 70% participation rule. They can only underwrite full-time and part-time employees, et cetera, et cetera. As one of my clients recently shared with me just last week, we were on the phone talking. He goes, Denny, traditional group health is exhausting. And he's exactly right. It's exhausting. So I come in, I get referred into a business, and I sit down and have a conversation. And again, I educate the business owner that there are viable alternatives that will still keep you ACA compliant. Okay, and I take that into consideration in all my cases, whether I'm working with an individual or a group. My alternative products are ACA compliant. Okay, so I'm not taking people out of being compliant and putting them in some inferior product where they would get penalized.
Right.
So I go through and re-educate the owner on these options, how these options work, the cost. So my number one group product is a bundled product where it has component A covers all your routine care with no deductible, no co-pays, no co-insurance. Okay, traditional health insurance just co-pays you to death and deductibles and co-insurance and blah, blah, blah. So with my group products, my routine care product that I bring to the table for the employee which meets the minimum essential coverage MEC for Obamacare, so it keeps them compliant. The employee goes to the doctor and pays nothing. There's no co-pays. And then I bundle it with my major medical plan, and this is where I really can save the employer and the employee's money. So my major medical plan does not come with these off-the-chart $10,000, $15,000 deductibles, co-insurance, max out-of-pocket. My group major medical plan has 3 deductibles, $500, $1,000, and $1,500. Okay, which again allows the employee. See, the problem today, and I've been blessed that when I go on appointments, I don't go to debate the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
I stay out of that game. Again, I go and educate people. But the problem today with traditional health, with these high deductibles and co-insurance, you truly have to have a major medical event for the plan to work for you.
Right.
With my alternative group plan, the highest deductible is $1,500. So if an employee went out and just simply had a simple tripped over something in the backyard, had to go to the emergency room, had to pay for a boot, crutches, and went to therapy for 3 months, and that all rang up to $2,000 in bills, and he had this group plan with a $1,000 deductible, then that employee's only out the $1,000,
Right.
and the plan will pay the balance.
Right.
Where if you own a plan with a $15,000 deductible, you're basically
You're
all
out
the
of
time.
pocket,
You're all the time paying out of pocket.
Right. And not many people have that kind of, God forbid something terrible happens, not many people have, you have to get ambulance. I mean,
Right.
that doesn't hardly even cover that,
Right.
you know, so God forbid.
And I also, a lot of times the industry, we get dinged with offering alternative products. Sometimes consumers are misled. Oh, well, I bet you your alternative product has limits. No, my alternative group plan has no lifetime limits on the major medical. God forbid if an employee was diagnosed with cancer and ran up $1.5 million bill, that employee would pay their deductible and the plan would pay the balance of the bill. There's no lifetime max on the plan.
That's fantastic.
Same with the Health Share Ministry program through MediShare. MediShare does not have a lifetime cap. All right, so it's not a limited benefit program. It'll pay forever,
Right.
type of thing. So to kind of quickly sum up, in the individual space, typically for people that don't qualify for subsidies and they're looking for a true alternative, I typically can save them 50 to 70% off their premium, what they would have paid on the Affordable Care Act side. On my group space, holy cow.
Yeah, that's
so on my group space, just to give you a quick example of numbers, this was a group I just did. So this was a group I just did, 6, 7 employees. They were looking at a traditional group healthcare plan, and they were looking at like $1,000 premiums with $7,500 plus
Sure.
deductible. Right? So this is what the rates ended up being for this company. For an employee only, it was $248 a month.
Wow.
For a $1,500 deductible, not a $10,000 deductible. For employee plus spouse, it was $496 a month, $1,500 deductible. For employee plus children, it was $472 a month, $1,500 deductible. And for employee plus family, $724 a month, $1,500 deductible. Huge savings over what you would pay for traditional health care.
And what I've heard is like that there's actually a large amount of people or a large amount of businesses that won't pay for that health insurance, probably because it's so expensive.
Correct. What I'm finding is, I'm finding now that a lot of my groups, because of my lower premiums for my products, alternative products, the employer is able to contribute some of that, which is now a win-win for the employer, for the employee. You want to keep employees at your company?
Right.
You need to reach out and have a conversation with me, because I can show you how to offer this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that has to increase employee retention.
Right.
You know, you see that, you know what, they have my best interest at heart. They want to take care of my family. They want to take care of my health. And, you know, that certainly incentivizes companies to do that because their cost is a lot lower. So when you said that one of the a lot of times, like, you run into people and you're constantly out in the market. You said that there's a lot of people have a lot of problems with their health insurance. You're saying, like, very high deductibles, provider networks are shrinking left and right. Dealing with claims is a pain in the butt. You know, there's certain things that are really big pain points. And so your job, is how I'm understanding, is you're going to try to help them kind of relieve all of those pain points and find
Right. So with a lot of the alternative products, you know, we can relieve the issue of high deductibles and premiums. In the individual market space, with the health share ministry plans, the claim process is so simple. And honestly, if you had a question on your claim, you call MediShare down in Melbourne, 2 rings, you're talking to a live person. You're not put on hold for an hour. Right. And you're not calling a call center. Yeah. Type of thing. So yeah, it's typically when I get referred, when I'm talking to an individual or a business owner, they've got pain. They don't know what to do. They've gotten quotes. And again, no disrespect to the other fine folks out there offering health insurance, but this is not just offering quotes. Periodically, I'll get a referral to just an individual, and the conversation on the phone is, "Hey, Denny, can I give you my date of birth and I need a quote?" I said, "Great, I'll do that after we have a conversation."
Because I don't know what you need.
I don't know what you need yet. Right. Okay. Right. And I don't want to give you a quote for product A if that's not going to work for you. Right. Okay, so I'm all about having the conversation.
Right, and figuring out kind of like, I mean, medical history has to be a big thing. You know, like, okay, do you have cancer? Do you have stroke? Do you have heart attack in your family? Is that something, a conversation that we should try to navigate through? So I think that's really cool. You know, you say that, you know, there's obviously a lot of uncertainty around health insurance right now.
Right. So one of the challenges we have is the internet.
Right.
So just the other night, I'll confess, I am on the internet. I do watch Facebook because I'm curious to see what other people are saying.
Of course.
So the other night, just literally a few nights ago, sitting watching TV at home, and I'm on my phone, I'm perusing through Facebook, and a person put a post up about individual health care and the mandate. And her post was, "Hey, can somebody confirm for me? I understand that the individual mandate is going." And instantly people are chiming in and giving their opinion. And a couple people actually chimed in, acknowledged or saying that they were an agent. I won't share names. A couple people chimed in and said, "Hey, I'm an agent here in Brevard County, and you're correct. The mandate is gone for this year." False, false, false. Okay? So if you have questions about the ACA law, I can help you with that too. I stay up to date on that as much as anybody can. So the individual mandate is going away, but not until 2019.
Right.
It is still in play this year. Okay, so if you did not have credible ACA coverage this year, you still are subject to the tax penalty for 2018. Starting in 2019, the individual mandate penalty has been set to 0 through the tax bill that the president signed back last Christmas. The ACA law is still law,
right,
and the individual mandate is still part of the law. But through the tax bill that the president signed last year, it sets the penalty for the individual mandate to 0.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, FYI, here's where it gets fun. So the law says that you have to have credible ACA compliant coverage for at least 9 months of the calendar year. Okay, you're allowed to skip 3 months. Right? There's a lot of confusion right now. People are calling me saying, "Denny, can I cancel my ACA plan on September 30th? I'll meet my 9 months and then go buy an alternative that I can afford." And the answer is yes, but you got to wait until October 1st. Do not cancel your AC policy on September 30th. You got to keep it through September.
Right.
So you got to keep it to at least October 1st.
Right.
Then you can cancel it, replace it with an alternative, save some premium.
Sure.
But at that point, if you keep it to October 1st, you've met the 9-month mandate type of thing. Again, I will never move somebody into a product that would take them out of a situation where they're going to end up paying a penalty.
Right.
Type of thing.
Right.
So just a little FYI. So the internet is challenging. A lot of people use the internet to get all their information
Sure.
or misinformation. So usually when I go an appointment, and again, talking to an individual family or a business owner, I always start with, let's just start the conversation. What have you been reading lately on the internet? What immediate concerns can I help you with? And usually people just start asking me questions. Well, I read a story on the internet the other night that I can do blah, blah, blah. I said, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
And here's why. So that's a challenge. There are also, although this with the individual mandate going away, it's going to free things up for people. So starting next year, folks, if you make too much income and you're not getting a subsidy, you're no longer required to keep that ACA plan and go shop the market and get something that's better for you, because you're not going to have to pay a penalty for not owning an ACA plan. For group space, this has always been a confusion for the last X years. If you're a business owner with less than 50 full-time equivalent owners, if you're a mom and pop business with 5 employees, you're not mandated. There's no mandate for small businesses to have group health insurance whatsoever. Right? The mandate for employers, if you have greater than 50 full-time equivalent employees, then you're mandated. And I can help those businesses too. I can help them navigate the rules on what you can have and not have, and save them money there.
The bottom line seems like if you just have questions, you need to speak to an agent, right? I mean, it's just that's it. Like, don't go to the internet for answers. Go to someone. You don't go to the internet for financial advice, and if you do, stop. Right? Like, go speak to a professional. And one thing I was taught when we started this WSI Digital Solutions Group in our marketing company is know what you don't know and let someone else do it for you. So bookkeeping, accounting, I don't even want to touch insurance. I want to have someone who knows and understands it and can navigate it, because even if I know enough to be dangerous, I'd still put myself in a risky situation, so it's just reaching out to somebody to answer some questions. One of
my biggest competitors in the group space are PEOs, professional employment organizations, and they've been around forever, and I respect what they do, and they do offer good service. But I remind small business owners, you don't need to pay all the extra fees that a PEO charges you for them to bundle and take care of your accounting and your payroll and your health insurance. You're still paying a premium for that.
Right.
Okay. So part of my education to business owners is, I'm not coming in to replace your PEO. If you've got a good PEO that's doing your accounting and your payroll and everything, all I'm saying is let me handle your group health, because I can save you a lot of money. The PEO is not going to offer the alternatives that I offer. And again, no disrespect to them, but again, it's all about educating. If I'm a business owner and there's a way for me to save money on my health insurance, I want to know about it. Okay. I'm not in sales. I don't, after an appointment, you don't get a canned email from me. Thank you for meeting with me. My role is to advise you and walk you through the process and understand your alternatives. And at the end of all that process, whether it's multiple appointments, I can help you. I'm there to help you. And then I also service all my accounts. All my clients, well, I don't have a landline anymore. So all my clients have my mobile number. They can call me, email me, text me with whether it's good news, bad news, a problem, and I respond. If an employee calls me or an individual client calls me and there's a hiccup somewhere, I get on the phone and we fix the hiccup. I don't run and hide. Let's fix it.
So if someone wanted to talk to you about health insurance or learning more about kind of what services you provide, what's the best way for them to get in contact?
Best way is my phone number is 321-482-4194. So 321-482-4194. It's a mobile line, so you can text me, you can call me. And then my email is the name of my agency, tmwinsuranceagency@gmail. And people always ask me, what's the TMW stand for? It's my wife's 3 initials.
Which I just love that.
Because my 3 initials were kind of silly. Or too many syllables. So call me or email me. Information is free with me. We can have a conversation over the phone. We can go grab coffee. I'm all about just educating the consumer And then yes, if I can help you, I ask for the business.
Yeah, of course.
But
you take the time, right?
But that's at the end.
Right.
When I walk into an appointment, it's a yellow pad of paper and my pen.
Right.
And I ask a lot of questions. I take a lot of notes, and then I follow up.
Yeah. See, like, he just seems very analytical and understanding kind of what all of that is and wants to find the best solution for you. Engineering mind, there is a result to the equation, right? So
yes.
We appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Denny, thank you so much for coming on the show
thank
today.
you. And I guess I'm going to be back next Friday.
Yeah, he's going to be back.
Something totally different, so stay tuned for next
Yeah,
Friday.
it's going to be awesome. We appreciate you all for tuning in, and thank you guys so much. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.